Hi, thanks everyone. Hope everyone is having a good day thus far, and thank you for the opportunity to uh, just talk to you a little bit about IBM Cloud Private. First, let's just start about what's happening in the market, right? And what's happening in the market today is that we're dealing with a true hybrid multi-cloud reality. And when you think about what that means, right, 94% of the clients that we work with within IBM, right, 94% of them have some type of a multi-cloud strategy. They have workloads that are running on premises. They have workloads that are running in the public cloud somewhere. And within that, right, we have 67% of those clients are using more than one public cloud vendor. Right? So just think about that as clients are adopting true multi-cloud strategies, right? What that is presenting to those clients. Well, it's presenting a lot of challenges. And those challenges range from how do I move workloads between my various environments? How do I connect them? And then also, how do I manage them consistently? But let's take a little bit of a step back from this multi-cloud reality and let's take a quick look at what's actually prompting it. And a large part of what is prompting this is the fact that organizations are moving from more traditional VM deployments of their applications to containerization, right? And there's a lot of reasons that containerization and container adoption is growing out in the market. Number one, right, it's lighter weight, right? So containers give you a much more efficient use of your infrastructure. But then, and I think this is even more significant, is the fact that when you containerize your applications that contain everything that you need to run that application, well, that makes that application much more portable, right? So I might move it from an on-premises environment to a public cloud environment or to a different vendor cloud environment. The point is, it's much easier to port applications across environments once you containerize them. But as containerization grows, right, that creates, can create a little bit of a chaos, right? What's managing those containers? What is orchestrating them? What is automating deployment around those containers? And that's why we're seeing Kubernetes grow so heavily out there in the market. If you're not familiar with Kubernetes, it is an open source project that is focused on container management and orchestration. And as a matter of fact, right, when we started looking at IBM Cloud Private, which is an offering that I'm going to give a high level overview in just a couple of minutes, the reason we adopted Kubernetes as the core foundation of our platform is that it's won the market share, right? When it comes to container management and container orchestration, Kubernetes has won the market battle, right? So 77% of the world's containers are managed by Kubernetes today. We've seen since 2017 a 200% increase in Kubernetes adoption. And part of the reason is, a lot of the cloud-like and cloud-native features and benefits that it's giving to organizations there. And speaking of those benefits, right, let's just look at, what are some of the tangible benefits that clients are experiencing from moving to containers and to Kubernetes, in a sense, modernizing the way they run their applications. Well, number one, you're going to deliver applications to market much faster, right? And the report or the study and the figures that you see here come from an analyst report that was completed by Ovum, one of the analysts that we work with very closely here at IBM. And they got these numbers from doing interviews with clients who are using IBM Cloud Private in production today. And so what they found on average is that organizations that adopt ICP or IBM Cloud Private are going to deliver applications to the market 84% faster than before. They're also going to reduce their operational expenses by 75%. And when you talk about the personnel across IT operations and IT administrators, right, they're also going to be able to take on 60% more workload. We're going to make them much more efficient and much more productive, right? There's a lot of other statistics that aren't found here. We've also seen things like a 50% reduction in service desk calls as a result. So the bottom line is the world is moving to containers, right? Kubernetes is the preferred platform for running and managing containers, and there are a lot of tangible benefits for taking that approach in your data centers today. So let's talk about IBM Cloud Private now, right? IBM Cloud Private is IBM's container platform, right? I don't want you to get too stuck on the name here. This is not an offering where we've taken our public cloud and then made it data center ready, where you can sit it behind your firewall. That is not what IBM Cloud Private is at all. In fact, at the core, what IBM Cloud Private is a container platform based on Kubernetes. And with our container platform based on Kubernetes, we're going to help you innovate much faster, which we just saw on the previous screen. Some of the benefits that we're experiencing in terms of speed to market. We're also helping organizations with hybrid integration. Remember one of those challenges I mentioned just a couple of minutes ago, as clients and organizations adopt multi-cloud strategies, one of the biggest challenges that they face is connectivity between clouds, right? So this is a platform that truly fits in to a client's hybrid cloud and multi-cloud strategy. It's also an offering that we've taken to market to help our clients leverage their existing investments, right? So we've taken our portfolio of IBM middleware data and analytics products, we've containerized them, and we've made them available in the IBM Cloud Private catalog. And then finally, right, it's ICP as an offering that is going to help our clients meet their management and compliance standards. I want to emphasize that IBM Cloud Private is not an appliance that we are delivering. In fact, it is software. IBM Cloud Private is software based on Kubernetes and several other open source projects, combined with our software portfolio that clients can deploy anywhere. So there are key use cases that we are seeing driving clients to container platforms and driving clients to IBM Cloud Private. And number one, that top, not necessarily the top use case, in fact, it's not the top use case, but one of the use cases is around, I need a platform for creating new cloud native applications, and ICP certainly gives clients that. Two, and this is our biggest use case, is all around modernizing and optimizing existing applications. So help me take the applications that I have running today that might be a monolithic application. Help me refactor it, re-architect it with a microservices approach, containerize it, and run it on a modern container platform. So that's really what that second use case is about. And number three is really that hybrid integration use case. I need to open up my enterprise data centers to connect with public cloud environments. I might need to pull in AI capabilities from Watson from IBM's public cloud. I might need to pull in weather data into my the applications that I'm building. And across each of these use cases, right, there's this common thread and common theme of multi-cloud management and orchestration. So let's take a deeper look at modernization, right? So that second use case that I was just talking about, this is what has driven 70% of our adoption of IBM Cloud Private in the market today. And we have over 600 clients who have adopted IBM Cloud Private in a very short period of time. By the way, that's just in 6 quarters in market. And what many of these clients are doing is they're leveraging IBM Cloud Private as a platform to move from a traditional VM on-premises deployment to containerization and running on a container platform. But it's not just simply about providing the platform itself. It's also about providing the tools and the expertise to help a client modernize, to accelerate a client's modernization story. So within IBM Cloud Private, we have tools such as the IBM Transformation Advisor, which helps a client assess and plan their journey to cloud. We actually provide the tooling to help automate the move and modernization. And then once you have moved and you've modernized your workloads, you still have to manage and support them. So we have the operational tools built into IBM Cloud Private as well there. And now as we take a look at the solution overview, right, you really get a snapshot of what IBM Cloud Private is. But first, let me talk about what IBM Cloud Private isn't. Right? So with IBM Cloud Private, we're not delivering to the client their infrastructure there. And there's a very specific reason for doing that. We want to meet our clients where they are with their infrastructure choices, right? That's why with IBM Cloud Private, we've been very intentional to support almost any infrastructure choice that a client might make. So if you have a power strategy or an IBM Z strategy, or a public cloud strategy such as Amazon, IBM, Microsoft, or Google, we can meet that strategy. We have clients running in production across all of these infrastructure options. So that's not what IBM isn't delivering with IBM Cloud Private. And one of the reasons that we're doing it this way is we want to help our clients avoid vendor lock-in, right? We don't want you to be locked into a specific infrastructure choice. Now, with what we're delivering with IBM Cloud Private, it starts at the bottom with Kubernetes and the Docker container engine, right? That's part of the core platform that we're delivering. So we have obviously our opinion around Kubernetes that we're delivering, and part of that opinion is to remain open, right? So we're very intentionally open source and very open in terms of being able to connect and move workloads, and that is core to our strategy. But now I actually want to move to the top of this layer cake chart, right? What truly differentiates IBM Cloud Private from the other Kubernetes or container vendors, container platform vendors in the market today is our rich catalog, right? So we are the only vendor in the market that has a catalog of software across IBM's middleware, data, analytics, and AI stack. We're the only vendor bringing Watson on-prem via containerization and Kubernetes today. But it's not only about the fact that we have a catalog, right? It's how we are implementing and optimizing that catalog to work in a production environment and with an enterprise grade experience. So when you go and deploy WebSphere or MQ or DB2 in production, it's going to integrate with that middle layer, which is the core operational services. So now I have log management already connected. I have monitoring already connected, metering, security, alerting. It's giving organizations a true enterprise grade experience ready for production when I deploy containers there. And then now let's look at what we're doing overall with the entire IBM hybrid cloud portfolio, right? We're re-engineering it and re-architecting everything to run on IBM Cloud Private. And as a result, we've built solution packs so that you can buy kind of these pre-packaged bundles with IBM Cloud Private embedded and get even greater value there. So again, running on any infrastructure that an organization might have, right? A client can get what we call the IBM Cloud Application Platform, which is a bundle of the WebSphere family plus IBM Cloud Private. All the capabilities across both of those, giving a client choices around their application platform. IBM Cloud Private for data, again, containerized versions of our data and analytics portfolio running on IBM Cloud Private. Our digital business automation portfolio. And finally, our IBM Cloud Integration Platform, an integrated experience of all of our integration products such as MQ, API Connect, Data Power, an integrated experience, containerized, running on IBM Cloud Private. And then as you begin to deploy, right, IBM Cloud Private and Kubernetes across multiple environments, the number of clusters that you have running in production continues to grow. IBM Multi-Cloud Manager gives you the ability to manage all of your clusters running regardless of where they are deployed. So within ICP, I'm just going to touch on this really quickly. We have multiple solutions built in that are proven to help accelerate modernization. Specifically focusing on Transformation Advisor, which enables a client to assess and plan which of their workloads they want to move to containers and to the cloud. And then finally, right, I wanted to just touch really quickly on what I highlighted just a minute ago on Multi-Cloud Manager. This is the most recent offering that we released out of the IBM Cloud Private portfolio, which was in 4Q of 2018. It enables organizations to, as they've deployed multiple Kubernetes clusters, they can now manage all of those clusters. They can do policy-based role and compliance management, and that they can do some simple multi-cluster application-centric management. And they can do this across clouds, both public and private. And within it, we give organizations an integrated set of tools to do log management, monitoring, and event management consistently, regardless of where their Kubernetes environment exists. So a true multi-cluster manager across multiple cloud environments. So to close, I just want to talk about some of the core differentiators here around IBM Cloud Private. Number one, right, we are firmly focused on delivering a one cloud architecture regardless of whether or not it's public or private. Our catalog is simply unmatched in the market today, right? We embrace open standards that help our clients avoid vendor lock-in. When it comes to machine learning, data, and analytics capabilities, no one brings the breadth and the capabilities that we do to market with IBM Cloud Private. Our multi-cloud management capabilities. Recently, I'm remiss without mentioning this. Just in the past 2 weeks, we won a 2019 Edison Award for Best New Product in Multi-Cloud Manager. And so our multi-cloud management and multi-cluster capabilities are superior in the market. And then finally, the best practices and prescriptive guidance that we provide through tools such as the Transformation Advisor help our clients accelerate their journey to cloud. And then finally, here's some links where you can learn more there. So you can get to our homepage, which will help you get started with IBM Cloud Private. We have a community edition that is a 100% no charge download. We have a hosted trial, so if you just wanted to spend a week working with an IBM Cloud environment, it's actually out there hosted on the IBM Cloud. You can go to our garage method and see our reference architectures around IBM Cloud Private and application modernization. And then there are also some additional assets with our digital technical engagement site that we have out there. All right. And with that, I'm just going to say thank you for the opportunity I had today to talk to you a little bit about IBM Cloud Private. And now I'm going to turn it over. So thank you, everyone.
Okay, hello everyone. Thank you, Danny, once again. So I will be showing you guys how actually you can move your workloads from your VM specific old school environment to a cloud environment, and I will be showing you guys as well how the ICP UI looks like and what is the rich catalog is involved in. So just let's begin with it. Okay, as soon as I open my console, Okay, here you can see this is the front UI of IBM Cloud Private. There are a lot of things available over here. If you click on this menu button, you can see there is a dashboard from where you can see what exactly running on your environment and how is currently the status of your deployment, whether it's healthy or unhealthy. If it is unhealthy, how many workloads are unhealthy, so you can overview it. This is your resources as of now, how much it is allocated, how much it been utilized. So it's currently working from a local environment. We are hosted in our offices, so yeah, it's totally dependent on our systems. The catalog thing, Danny was talking about, that ICP comes with a rich catalog with available resources already, middleware already available with there to integrate with your systems. Here you go, just hold on. Okay, here you can see there's a lot of catalog already available over here, and not only just this, you can manually integrate your Helm chart release as well inside this, and you can obviously deploy your application using this catalog program as well. So let's just begin with the actual migration of from a standalone VM environment to a cloud environment. So first of all, the first example I used over here today is a day trader app. It's a basically an application that is used for benchmarking, and usually used for application servers benchmarking, whether it will be good to run your Java workloads and any application you are running. But Day Trader app specifically is a Java-based application, so all the conclusions are for Java-based applications. So this application is integrated with Java EE7 and have features such as GSP, servlets, and EJP, and etc. So what application does is basically it's a trading application where user can perform all trading related tasks such as buying and selling stocks, and even managing its history and what it's usually did wrong or everything related to that. So this is a deployment approach that I will be using in this scenario. What exactly I have a raw code available with me already in my VM. First of all, I will be creating the build using Maven tool already installed. So I won't be showing those steps. I will be just proceeding from this step. So what actually we'll be doing, that we will be tuning our server XML file a little bit, that I will be providing a cracked our database driver over here, and after that I will be showing that the Docker file that I have created manually to create my Docker image. So why I'm concerned about Docker image, once the application is ready to move to the cloud, what exactly you need for it? You need a Docker Docker container image for it. So as soon the container image is ready, you can deploy your application on Liberty middleware available already in ICP. So for that, to create a container image, I would be needing the actually I will be needing the configuration files that already having attached with the application, and obviously I will be needing the binaries in .er format or .var format, whatever you have as of now. In our scenario, we will be having an ER file already compiled using or built using Maven, and server XML file as well built using Maven. So without any further ado, let's move on with it. Okay, let me just. Okay, here's the raw code that I used in this scenario. What I have already did, I have already deployed my deployed my build, and my build is already available inside this folder. And what actually I will be proceeding from, I will be showing that what exactly the Docker file I have created. So first of all, to create a Docker image, we will need a source from where the container will be read from. So this is the image that will be used from Docker Hub repository, which is already available for public as well by IBM team. They are doing a great heck of a job, and they are day by day enhancing their list of available containers, so you can migrate your as much as possible workloads to IBM Cloud Private, or I can say IBM Cloud. So first of all, it will be pulling the image. Then what I did, actually the EIR file, the binaries that I've created using Maven, I will moving it inside the container. And after that, I will moving my configuration file inside the container as well. And after that, I will be moving my the, that database driver that in this scenario, which is Derby, I will be moving that as well from my local environment to inside the VM. And but last but not the least, I will be accepting the license that will be asked during the installation process of all the features and everything. So as soon that is done, I will be building the image by running docker build command. And obviously I won't be doing that right now because it will take some time, and I have already available docker image. If I just grab my images so I can see you guys. Okay, here it is. It's already been created like 3 weeks ago. I've been working on it for a long time. So the image is already available. What I have done, as I said in the steps, I will create an image. I will tag it with the name that ICP is works integrated with, and once that is done, I will be moving it inside the local registry of ICP. So this is the image that is being already moved to local registry of ICP. If I show you guys, if I go to the container images and search for day trader, so here you go. The image is already been available over here. So the last step over here is now by all that image is already been created and already been pushed to the local registry of ICP. Now it's just to pop up an instance, or should I say a pop-up container using this image. So how will we do that? We will go to catalog. We will go look for Liberty middleware, which is already available with us inside ICP catalog, and as soon as you click on it, it will show you the whole procedure how to deploy your application using Liberty middleware, and what exactly you need, your prerequisite resources, and everything related to that. And it's a very pretty much detailed readme script over here, and you can see everything is already pre-mentioned that you need to be do. And also it also provides you the details for what is should be the repository name and what exact configuration need to be done. So we'll click on configuration, we'll add any name with it, and we will select a namespace. Namespace is a great feature over here. You can segregate your works between team as well. Like if there is a dev team working on it, they can deploy it in a dev environment so that it won't be available for public as well. And if it is already a deployed application with a product or production application, you can deploy it in default, which is available for all public outside. So in our scenario, I have already deployed it in default default namespace. And after that, I will be updating my repository as well. Since my repository name is now changed from a standard one, I have already used this one with a tag EE7. So I will be pasting it over here, the repository name. He should ICP should look for this image instead of the by default one, which will be pulling out from a local ICP registry. And I will be just adding the tag as well. So I will just click on install, and the application will be installed successfully, which I've already done. Let me show you guys. As soon the application will be installed, you will find it in deployment. Don't worry, guys. I will be deploying another application just after I that, so you will be clear how application usually deployed on ICP. So here you go. The application already been deployed like 3 weeks ago. If I click on it, I will have to just click on launch, and here it is deployed application of a data app. Here you can log in, you can see your history, what have you been doing, you can see your balance and everything. If you go to trade codes, you can see these are the available market shares. You can buy just one of them. If you go to portfolio, you can see that it's just been added, and there is a decrease and increase and everything. So this is a simple day trader app that have been migrated from a standalone VM environment, a monolithic app that have been already been microservices, and then moved to the cloud. So this is all the transition, as you can see there. The next thing I would like to show you guys is IBM Transformation Advisor. As Denny said, these are the tool that is used to in the IBM Cloud, already available in IBM Cloud Private, to suggest you guys, to help you guys migrate your workloads from a monolithic app, or should I say from a standalone VM, from a old environment to a modernized environment, which is a cloud-based environment. So what actually IBM Transformation Advisor is, it helps customer to take the first steps to the right direction when we are talking about modernizing their application. Most of the customers obviously are hesitant when they are talked about modernizing application, that it will take them to an unfamiliar territory, and which will result in a lot of efforts, time, and resources. But what IBM Transformation Advisor help us do over here, it will guide us, or should I say, it will share us the guidelines that we need to follow to move our application from a standalone environment on all environment to a cloud environment. Actually, what Transformation Advisor do, it basically generate a script. As soon you create your project in Transformation Advisor, what you need to do, run those scripts on your non-production environment, and it will gather all the related configuration related details from your web server application, and provide you the steps that you need to follow in some to find migrate application. It will suggest you every minimal detail about what exactly you need to change in your environment, and it also suggests you that few steps that you need to be performed before migration, and if you can skip those steps and perform post migration. And there are also pretty much details about what exactly the line that you need to address in your code to make the changes. It will suggest whether the application is just ready to move directly to the cloud environment, or you need to update your code, or you need to look something before migrating or post migration. These are the current application that have been already been integrated with IBM Transformation Advisor. And as you can see, like for 5 to 6 months ago, the list wasn't that much rich, but yes, currently it have at least 5 applications, and most likely by today as well, there must have been, the list have been enhanced as well. But as of now, we have all these applications. In our scenario, we'll be running the script on WebSphere application server version 8.5.5. So we are good over here. And as you can see, there are much other application server that you can run IBM Transformation Advisor on. One more thing before moving to demo, every customer is always concerned about data privacy whenever they are running third-party scripts on their environments. First of all, IBM Cloud Transformation Advisor suggests you to run it on a non-production environment, so the script don't affect your production environment. Secondly, it won't read any passwords or any data logs, or should I say any communication happen between the services or workloads. But yes, it will read what is your current configuration and dependencies you have in your application. It will read your usernames, and it will read the services that workload currently uses. It is just because to save us time, to save us much trouble that we face. Like I show you guys that I created a Docker file for data wrap. It was manually created by me and invested a lot of time to find the right fix for it. What IBM Transformation Advisor do, it reads the username. It will integrate the username as well in the scripts, but the password field will be available over there, but it will be filled up with question marks that you need to fill it out. So everything is secure over there as well. So these are the steps that we will be following on today for migrating our application. Yeah, we will be creating a project in Transformation Advisor. As soon we create a project, the script that need to be run on the server will be ready, and we will be running that server. This process actually takes like 10 minutes to 10 hours time as prescribed by Transformation Advisor, but in our case it takes like 15 minutes. So we'll be dodging this part and moving ahead. And I have already run this script, so I can guide you guys further. After that, we will be doing, as I mentioned earlier in the slides, that 50 to 70% of workloads have or our work have been already done by Transformation Advisor. I will be making few changes as since it will read all details from the deployed application, so we need to update some cloud related information as well. And once that is done, I will be building my Docker image using the Docker file that created by Transformation Advisor, and then we'll be deploying application using the straightforward method by creating a resource on IBM Cloud Private. Just let me open the screen for Transformation Advisor. since I've already been logged in in ICP, so it won't be asking me any credentials as of now. So here it is, the front UI of IBM Cloud Transformation Advisor. So what exactly it does? It provides you more details about what your application need to be do before what changes you need to be do on your application before migrating from your standalone PM environment to a cloud-based environment. So I will be creating a new project. Let's call it webinar demo. The cell part over here is to distinguish your works between teams, like if there are multiple teams working on it, development team and multiple developers working on different microservices, so you can segregate their works as well and manage it through inside Transformation Advisor. So I will just call it cell as of now. So here the script is ready, the data collector script is call it data collector script. So what it will do, if you go through it, it will if you click on download, it will start downloading the script, which I have already mentioned that I have already done this part. So this script is available for Linux environment. Since my environment is already built it on in Linux environment, so I will be downloading this script. And there is a multiple options also available, like for Windows, Solaris, and AX as well. Most of the systems are usually on Linux, on Windows, so this part is already catered by IBM Transformation Advisor, and there are some other operating systems as well available. Not only that, it will advise you what exactly the commands you need to run to unzip the file, and exactly what command you need to run on your depending on environment. In our case, it's IBM WebSphere, so it suggested that if you want to run analysis on your application configuration, you need to run this command with your specific home directory and profile name and username and password as well. And you can switch between the application servers. If it is Oracle, we suggest you what is the exactly command, and for example in IBM Q, it will suggest you accordingly. So in our case, I have run the command on my server with selecting IBM WebSphere and all application configuration as well. So if I move to my here is the 3 file that have been provided over here. So I just run the script, and what it did, if I go inside the folder, it created a zip file which is already been what should I say, investigated your application server and provided the suggestions as well in a zip format. What we need to do, move this file in Transformation Advisor, and then look what it's suggested us to do. If we go back over here, it will have an icon of upload data. I have already have this file available on my system, so I will just click on it and upload the file. As soon we click on upload the file will uploaded, and all the information that it gathered from the environment it will provide you over here. So initially what it says, it said that application movement is very simple process. It had 100% technology match. It has 3 dependencies, and there are some issues that can be addressed post migration. So if this icon is green, that we are good to go to migrate right away. If this icon is red, we need to address this problem before migration. So before proceeding to that, let me show if I have run on multiple applications. So if I let me show some other application what its result showed over there. So here we go. For example, this application showed that the movement will be moderate, not a simple one. Yes, it has a 100% technology match with 2 dependencies, and some issues need to be addressed before migration. Some can be neglected and can be done after migration, and 3 of them are after migration. So what the greatest thing about IBM Transformation Advisor is, it provides you every minimum detail that you need to be followed. So it suggested that you need to update your code, and its a description is also said that some changes are required on your code. It's not just that you suggest you that you need to make some changes. It will suggest you how much development time will be needed, or resources will be involved in it. If you select a single resource with a proficient skills on development, it will suggest you like this. Since it is an average developer with a single resource, so it's showing that it will take 3 days of time to complete this deployment phase. and having an overhead of 5 days, total 8 days of transition period from a local environment to a cloud environment. So it also suggested which are the technologies you need to address before migration. It already showed that we need to look into our enterprise Java Beans and EJB as well. So and if you click on the analysis report, it will provide you more details about which exactly the issue is. And if you should click on the show rules, it will provide you what exactly the issue is and what exactly the changes you need to make. And I have already consulted with a developer in our team. It said it's providing a lot of information that actually help developers to look over the internet and find the perfect fix for it. And obviously it will take a lot of time, but it's already been providing that you need to go inside this file and provide these classes and everything. Not only that, it will also provide you the file name, the location of it, and it will suggest you the line number you need to work on. So this is a pretty much all detail you need when you are working on changing your code. So after if I go back to my current application that I'm working on, so let's move back to webinar demo. Okay, I will just click on migration plan. I will show you guys how the IBM Transmission Advisor already did for me. It created all the script that as a admin person need to deploy your application on the server. I need a server XML file for which is a configuration file, also PMX file with a configuration file, also the Docker file I created for the sample data app. I have it over here as well, and Helm charts, which if you need to integrate this deployment through a catalog feature, you can do it from here. If you can do it from create feature, you can do it by manually copy pasting. We will be so opting for this option since it's a simple application deployment, so we will be doing that. What it also requires us to provide is asking us to provide the application binaries and the driver that see it's already recognized that you are using Derby driver, so we need to provide the Derby driver that exactly we are using. So let's just provide them the details it want. Okay, here the my binaries, and here is my driver. If I as soon I upload all these files, you can see this option is also highlighted to migrate your Liberty workload using microclimate, which we will not using as of now because it basically helpful for application which we needs to run multiple builds during migration. So in our scenario, it's very simple movement. So we'll be opting for that option. After that, we will be downloading this bundle and moving back to our server so we can do the Docker image creation work. So I have already this image, this zip file already been moved over here and unzipped as well. So as you can see, the binary is available over here, and the chart is already available here, the Docker file that I talked to you about, and some changes that I will be doing in server XML file. So for the three changes that I've made in the server XML file is that I have corrected the JPA version over here. Since IBM Transmission Advisor opted for the available updated version available on the internet on the market, so it was 2.1 actually. But I mean, I know this plants application, which is a sample e-commerce application that I've been migrating on. It will be best working with JPA 2.0. After that, as you can see, it's already updated the location of the database driver that where it should look for. And also I have made some changes in the location of the database. I am importing database locally in this scenario. So I have imported my database in this location. I have updated just this database name. And since I'm not using any credentials, so there is no username or password need to be updated. If there was any username and password in this scenario, you will see that there were a question mark for the password field, but the username has all been populated like every other field. As you can see, this all kind of work usually takes a lot of time to be figured out what exactly the version need to be used and everything related to that. But Transmission Advisor did it for us by itself, and all thing will done perfectly. And regarding the Docker file, since I said that IBM Transmission Advisor suggests the best practices, as you guys saw in my Docker file, there was only 5 to 6 lines over there, and although my application was working fine over there as well, but it was not the best practices as you can see. We need to create a multiple copies of our binaries available in the system, and I have added one single line over here in this code just to integrate my local imported database. So what else I have commented out few lines, since I will not be needing it as of now, because I will be using it on a testing environment rather than I will be using it on a cloud environment or on a production environment. So I won't be using any licensing feature as of now because I don't need it as of now, since it's a non-production environment. After that, I will just build my Docker image. We'll tag it with webinar demo. Whatever we do, it will create the image. So since it was done already, so it just copied from the cache, or usually this type of work takes a lot of time. It will download all dependencies and create the project. So if you just look for the image now, you will find it available. Okay, here we go. So actually the spelling is also wrong over here. So anyhow, the image is already been ready, but one last thing before moving to ICP UI. So what is that? If you go to our chart, our deployment YAML file, which is already available in manifest folder, you can see it is expecting that the image name should be PWER latest, as I show you in show you guys on Data app. So I will be renaming it to this and then pushing it to IBM Cloud Private. So let's just do that. Okay, webinar. I'll be moving it to this name, and after that I will just push it to my Docker local registry. Since I already have the layers existed, so it will move over there. If I move to my container image folder, you can see it will have the image which is PBW. Yeah, the image is already been available over here and it's ready to deploy. So the last thing that I will be doing is to create the resource using that YAML file. I already show you guys. I will be using this deployment YAML file. So I have to do is just copy the content of it and click on create resource, paste it over here and click on create. What it will do, it will create a workload in our deployments. As you can see that 0 minute ago this application was deployed and it's ready to be used. So what I will do, I will just try to figure out its link. Yeah, it's currently running on this port. Since I haven't suggested any port, so it manually integrated a port. So as soon as I click on it, you can see that Liberty Server is already running. I have to just add the tag for my application, which is plants by WebSphere. You can see this application is currently running over here, and if I can show you guys, it's an e-commerce website and everything is already available and database is already connected. You can add different things in your cart and perform the shopping spaces as well. So that's all from my side. Thank you.